What up, y'all? This is Phaser Media, and today we're going to talk about throwing your own Dundies party. Before we get into things, I just want to say thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, let's get into this. Honestly, I hate office parties. Everything just feels so awkward and forced all the time. That said, I do like to help plan the parties and pick up the napkins and the food and everything. I don't mind participating. I just don't like being there when it's happening. I'm kind of like a Phyllis or an Angela. Probably Phyllis because I love cake a lot.
This says bushiest beaver.
And most office party games are pretty lame, but they kind of have to be just naturally because you can't have anything too saucy. You don't want Brenda and George over in accounting freaking out, going to HR and all that, all because we had to have some chips because it was someone's birthday, chips and a little cake. That said, I do like office superlatives as an activity. I think it's a fun way to give recognition to employees and people who are doing well. And that's kind of what the Dundies in the office represents, right? You just have Michael Scott doing office superlatives in just a crazy over-the-top way, which is why we love it, because, The Office is a giant exaggeration of all the crazy things that desk workers see on a day-to-day basis. Honestly, it's not all that crazy. I've probably seen the majority of stuff that's happened in that show. So I came up with my own list of office superlatives. You can't really use the ones from The Office because they're very character specific. Like Pam's whitest tennis shoes.
Because God gave me this Dundie.
But this list I'm about to share with you, you can fit to basically any group of people that are working in an office. And even if you don't use these for your next party, I still think they're pretty fun to read, so I'm going to go for it, alright? So the first one we have is the lunch lad or the lunch lady. This is the employee who is the most particular about their lunchtime routines and habits. There's always one person who has their lunch down pat every single day. They set it up, heat it up, eat it up, same style, same thing every day. Kind of think about Molly Ringwald setting up the sushi in the Breakfast Club.
What's that?
That's kind of what I think of when I think of the lunch lad or the lunch lady. Next, we have the 2:30 warrior. This is the employee that regularly gets their second wind in the afternoon. Everyone else in the office is in their post-lunch food coma, but the 2:30 warrior just starts killing it for the rest of the day. I don't know how they do it, but they definitely deserve an award for it. So up next is the tidiest, and this is the person with the cleanest desk. It's really easy to just get piles of papers and just everything stacked up high, manila folders. I've seen people with just like what seems to be a never-ending tower of manila folders on their desk. So the person with the cleanest desk definitely deserves a shout out. The next award should be given to who I call the snack master.
So this is mayonnaise and black olives?
They're the people who always keep a lot of snacks in their desk. If you're ever feeling hungry, you can always creep over by them, maybe mooch a little something off them, a little bag of Cheez-Its or something. But they always hold everyone down whenever someone gets a little bit hungry in the office. Up next, we have a person that can't really get a grip on everything being digital, and they're always printing something. Every PowerPoint, every presentation, every document that comes across, every memo, they have to print it out. And this person is called the paper wizard. And they deserve some respect for The next award is named after the queen bee herself. I call it Destiny's Child. It's a really bad dad joke, but it's also the employee that you can always hear singing to themselves in their cubicle every day. They have no shame. Not that it's shameful, but they definitely have a lot less social anxiety than I do. Next up, we have the doodler. This person, whether they're writing in the margins or just drawing to get through a tough meeting or just they need something to do with their hands, they're just going to flex their artistic skills every day. This is who I kind of fancy myself as. I find that drawing helps free up my mind so I can pay attention to other things, especially if I'm in a meeting or a training that's taken a long time. That said, I'm not the greatest artist ever, so don't take my word for it. Next up, we got to give a shout out to the person who always has the office gossip. If something happens, You know, if two employees are like secretly dating or someone gets yelled at by their boss, this person knows it. And that's why they receive the tabloid award. All right, forget all the drawing stuff I said earlier. This next one is definitely me. It's called the informal IT, and it's just the person in the office who knows the most about computers naturally, so they're constantly helping out other people. I do this all the time at work. I actually think I do it so often it's probably built into my job description at this point. The next award goes to the Netflix navigator. That's the person who is just always running through so much TV, where you, no matter what show you happen to be into at the time, you most likely can go over to them and talk to them about it. Just pretty cool. I like people like that in the office because I watch some weird obscure stuff. So I got my few go-to people to talk to. The next award is called the brownout. And no, it's not what you're thinking. That would be very gross and inappropriate. The person who gets the brownout award is the person who has the most stuff plugged in at their desk. They have their computer set up, they got wired headphones, they got 12 different things charging, they got a mini fridge, they got a space heater, a fan, space heater and a fan at the same time. I don't get it, but it's draining all the power from the office, and that's why they get the brownout award. The next award goes to someone called the Earl of Energy. This is the person who just knows everything about over-the-counter stimulants. So they're talking about caffeine gum and espresso shots and energy kombucha, everything. If you need to pick me up, they have all the suggestions for it. All right, so the next one is a little risque, at least for the office. I call this person the cubicle commentator, and they have to drive every conversation to politics. It doesn't matter if they're left, right, socialist, anarchist, if they believe aliens rule everything. They always swing the conversation to be political. I'm not a huge fan of talking to these people, but they exist. The next award goes to the personal caller. They're the person that you always see in the hallway talking on their phone. They just, for some reason, their life is just filled up with appointments and contractors and people, just all different things. Honestly, from experience, it's mostly parents. But there's always that one person that's always on the phone out in the hallway, and you're like, all right, you've been out here the last 8 times I've come to pee, because that Earl of Energy just gave me like 18 Red Bulls, but you do you, I guess. The next employee I like to call the martyr. They like to sign up for every little cringy thing that the office wants to do, whether it's, fun runs, bake sales. Susan's retiring, so we got to get her incredible edibles or something. She's running to the store for coffee, just everything. The next award you should give out is called the Fastest Fingers Award. This is the person who is always texting on their phone, typing on their work computer, typing on their laptop. They're just typing all the time. You have no idea how they type so efficiently. And you can usually hear this person like 7, maybe 8 miles away because of how loud their keyboard is. All right, y'all, I think we've had enough fun for today. Those are a bunch of fake office superlatives, Dundie Awards that I came up with. Feel free to use them at your next office party or just share it with your friends. I do have a much longer list on the website. I'll put the link to the blog post in the description. But until next time, peace, y'all.